Hello future people, thank you for watching Getting Tabled. I'm Jason the Bruce, and today we're unboxing my first expansion for Don't Look Back. So, for those of you that haven't seen me talk about Don't Look Back before, I'm going to quickly touch on what it is now. Basically, it's what you would normally think of as a war game. It's played on a 3x3 board, but it's not competitive. It's cooperative. It's horror themed. So, basically, you and up to 3 friends are trying to survive against a killer that's controlled by the game. Basically, you create your killer at the start of the game. Different expansions will do it differently. The thing that jumped out at me most of all, though, is the fact that it's the first non-board game I know of that's ever actually done the co-op thing. A lot of people don't like competitive gaming. Like, I'm not saying that competitive gaming is a bad thing. It's existed from the dawn of time. It works in video games all the time. But not everybody enjoys that. There's a huge part of the market that don't enjoy playing against people and would rather play with people. And to my knowledge, this is the only game that is doing that in our hobby right now. If there's more, I would love to know about them, because I haven't seen any other ones yet. The fact that it's horror themed kind of is very different as well. Not everybody gets into horror, but even those that don't get into horror can usually enjoy the comedy aspects of it. As I'm sure it's pretty obvious from my tone, this is a game that I've kind of went, oh. This is Attack of the Greys. As you can see, it's in the same VHS cut type style, type design that the other one was. And the artwork is very reminiscent of your old rented games again. So this is a killer expansion. There's different types of expansions. You can get hero expansions as well. But this particular one is designed around a new lot of killers, which are obviously your alien guys. I've got 3 resin aliens in here. There's also specific rules that come with this, and strange light tokens. Gee, I wonder what they're supposed to represent. It's definitely leaning into pop culture with this, quite deliberately. Once again, this is literally a VHS case. I love that it comes in a VHS case. So, first things first, our strange light tokens. Obviously supposed to look like they're coming down from the ship. Nothing on the other side, but pre-coloured, which is nice. New scenario, new killer. Let's go through the killer first, I think. Small and slight, the Greys seem to stare right through you with their shiny eyes. Their heads tilt slightly as they consider your worth. The thing I find interesting about this expansion is they're called the Greys, but they're painted green. Now, ironically, this is actually something that comes from pop culture, because they're always called the Greys, and more often than not, they're always represented as green people. I don't get it, but it just seems to have been common. So, these guys have 6 wounds, driven off. When a Grey is driven off, place a Grey in the centre of the closest strange light token. Okay, so these guys are going to keep on coming. They come to observe and collect. When a Grey moves, it will always stop 1 inch away from its target. If a Grey is in contact with a target at the start of the killer phase, the Grey moves 2 inches directly away instead of using their MO. So they don't want to actually get to you. So they've got a mind control ability. They have to target the closest standing character or supporting character within 10 inches. In the case of a tie, players may choose. That's fairly common for most of it. And abduction, Greys target the closest character or supporting character in contact with a strange light. In the case of a tile, players can choose. Target is randomly placed D10 inches away from its location. Trips, gaining an injury, and gain 1 point of terror. Cool. So, lights in the woods is the scenario. You've been hiding from them for a couple of days. Now you're out of food and water. You hear over at the ranger station radio that an old military bunker exists at the base of the hills to the south. After 2 days of hiking, you are so close. The problem is so are they. So you've got an example of the table set up there. There's no specific points of interest. You are in dense, so dense underbush means that it's harder to move through, essentially. There's no specific lights, and the objection is to get at least 2 characters to the bunker by the end of turn 12. And the themed killer is the visitors. Gee, I wonder why. It feels very much like your classic Alien. Kind of otherworldly and kind of odd looking. Weird number of fingers. The other ones are kind of relatively similar. And as for the heads, a little bit of flashing there that needs to be cleaned up. But quite nice. Now, I'm actually tempted to paint mine grey. I haven't actually decided yet. I might stick with the green, but I kind of like the idea of them being grey, like the Asgards from Stargate. I don't know. I'll give that some thought. But 2-piece. The only thing that's separate is the head, which allows you to pose them differently and stuff, I suppose. Quite nice. So there you go. That's Attack of the Greys by Blacksite Studios. It's an expansion for Don't Look Back. I'm really keen to get some games of this. I will be playing the base game with my housemate most likely tomorrow night. That's the plan. We are continuing in lockdown, so it's likely that we'll probably get a game over the weekend as well. One of them might be filmed. Maybe. Thank you very much for checking out this video. If you're enjoying the content of this channel, please like and subscribe. If you're in a position to do so, please check out patreon.com/gettingtabled. You receive early access to at least 80% of all videos that we put out, and you get access to the video edition of all of our podcasts the day that they're uploaded. If you'd like to check us out on social media, facebook.com/gettingtabled is the most active. We also have a Discord server. You can email our team at gettingtabled@gmail.com. If you're on either Twitter or Instagram, you can find us at gettingtabled. And until next time, play more.